Ladies and gentlemen, and everything possibly in between, it is currently 7:36 p.m. for me here in Phoenix, Arizona, on the 8th of December. It is the last month of 2023. And I don't know about you guys, but especially after, just how this year went, I personally am welcoming 2024 and all of the various artists that are planning to release music that we all know are planning to release music next year. I am eager to now be planning to go to Sick New World as a festival over in Vegas. As it is not too far from me. And well, one thing I hope to do in 2024 for the Anatomy Crosscast is get us up to 100 episodes, because this is going to be episode 65, ahead of what will be episode 64 for Josh from Curb Stomp the Predator. The marketing slogan being "Kill Your Local Rapist." Pretty good shit. So tonight, after long ado, after basically losing track of what is their latest EP, Poltergeist, released April of 2023, we have Zach Atwell, the vocalist
What's up,
of
man?
Conjured. What's up? What's up? It's been a long time, and again, this is a band. This is one of the many bands who, instead of me reaching out to them and being like, "Hey, can you like send me your album early and I'll get you on my podcast," or some stupid shit, instead they're like, "Hey, can you listen to our new material?" And I remember also taking a chunk of time to get to Shinigami, but once I did, I was like, "Holy shit, this reminds me of Brand of Sacrifice's Eclipse," and then when I listened to the Poltergeist EP, which has yet to release as a video, alongside 10 other uploads, including including a double reaction for Murder Afloat, and so many others. We got shit on the way, guaranteed. It's just a little bit more complicated with the public job. But getting a little bit more cozy into session tonight, me with my fucking passion fruit soju. Good shit. If you haven't had soju, definitely try it. It's very like syrupy Korean alcohol, and it's actually one of the most popular alcohols in the world. I definitely know why. I understand why. But how are you doing tonight, sir?
I can't complain, man. I don't know, it's been a long one.
Has it been a long week for you?
Oh yeah, man. The day job's kicking my ass, but it's
Ooh.
I'm glad we're hanging out now.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. And let us welcome the weekend. Cheers to that. So, for those of you who have happened to not listen to the prior 64 episodes, as most likely this episode will be uploading alongside the Curb Stomp the Predator session, if you have not had the opportunity to listen to any of the 64 or 63 prior episodes of the Anatomy Crosscast, now we have a structure, we have somewhat of a script. Helps things keep organized, but per se, if both sides of this call, both sides of the session are extremely ADHD, well, shit happens.
Let's
We
go.
might go into tangents, and that's just how it's going to be. And that will make for a more organic conversation. Hopefully it will make for a more engaged talk. Basically, the first time me and Zach are sitting down to talk, hang out, get to know each other, that type of thing. Kind of like a first date between the Anatomy Crosscast and Conjured. And for that, I look forward to this session as
I
well.
should have brought you flowers.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I should have brought more soju or some shit. Like, at least like, try to give you some through the camera. But for those of you who don't know, we have the first half of the podcast session, which will be for the people, right? And tonight we're enacting some of that good old freaking traditional deathcore friendly frontman syndrome, right? Because Zach is the only one in call tonight. So
I
we'll be
tried.
learning we'll be learning about him, his contributions to Conjured, as well as his journey becoming a vocalist and contributing what he has so far to Conjured. Maybe even ask him about, his massive gauges, because I know I'm not even fucking close to that. Ask him about the journey and how long it took him to get there, all that fun stuff. Ew, spaghetti. And then in the second half, basically, we will be questioning Zach as if he is Conjured. And we will be asking him basically about some of the lore behind Conjured. We'll be talking about the single Shinigami that came out last year, the single Fortune Teller that came out this year. We'll be talking about the EP and everything relevant about Conjured going into 2024. Now, what I would like to do first, Zach, is I would like to go ahead and basically pretend that we're in an elementary school classroom, okay? And basically imagine that first day of class, the first day of orientation. You're standing up before the class and you're providing that kind of, well, elementary level introduction. You're telling us your name, you're telling us where you're from. So, especially if it was a class, you'd be like, well, hopefully I'm from the area around here, because otherwise it'd be difficult as shit to get to school. Then basically after that, you'll be talking about any other hobbies that you'd like to do, or perhaps even a career that you're investing into or have been investing into outside of music. Take it away, sir.
All right. I'm Zach Atwell. I do the vocals for Conjured. I moved around a lot, but I'm originally from Tennessee, and then Virginia, West Virginia, Florida,
Let's go.
New Jersey, Kentucky, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, aside from that, I do graphic design for Graveyard Graphics. Like I just did the Bunny the Bear's new album artwork. And yeah, I'm pretty vague, dude. I just play video games and do this. That's about
it
it.
comes with the formula. It's not like, you're not just doing vocals. I admire and respect, as a fellow vocalist and someone who's trying to invest themselves into being a bass guitarist, that you were also involved in the graphic arts field. It adds another vocalist to the roster, as far as I'm concerned, alongside the greats such as Alan Gurnja from Distant, who does Almanac designs, right?
Yeah.
Or even Ethan Jarma of Crafting the Conspiracy, who does Forlorn designs, and he's been doing a whole bunch of really, really impressive logos, including just refurbishing the Crafting the Conspiracy logo. Shout out to Ethan. We need to get him on the podcast as soon as possible.
We're actually playing with them here shortly. I've been checking his stuff out.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude. What a way to connect the
Wait,
dots.
hold on, that's announced, right?
Oop.
Yeah, it's announced. It's fine.
That's oh shit. That works. Okay, I like that though. So again, I think it's really cool to hear when any member of any band is doing a lot more for themselves outside of that creative medium. But the thing is, they're also doing other creative mediums that correlate with that industry, right? Because you're trying to like break the wall. You're trying to make a name for yourself. And well, these days you kind of have to juggle 3 or 4 different things just to fucking stay relevant. So
It's you got to wear 800 hats to be in a band,
you gotta
regardless of
wear
what. Like I just
800.
finished mastering one of the songs tonight. Yeah,
Exactly. You also dabble in sound engineering. Let's go.
yeah, yeah.
He's like, I don't like doing it.
It's
It's
tiring,
cheaper.
but yeah. Well, it's a few aspects. Having more like creative control over things
That's
and
fair. Yeah,
polishing more of like what we want in the end project and everything.
right. Exactly. Well, I think that is a very, very excellent introduction to Mr. Atwell here, as not only will we hope to probe or poke and pry at his legacy, his history as a vocalist, but also inquire with him upon his journey into being a sound engineer, participating in that creative medium behind the scene, kind of providing his own refurbished, tough spine to Conjured, right? And then we will be hoping to learn as much as possible, get some advice from him as far as, well, basically what we were just discussing, which is having to juggle 4 things at once to become relevant, or literally anything else that he might have to offer us. Because I mean, I'm 24. I don't know about like how old are you?
I'm 24 too. I'm about to
24.
be 25. Yeah.
Boom, bada
Yep.
bang,
Let's
baby.
go.
We're the same
Big gang
age. Let's
stuff.
go.
Let's go.
So I think obviously now with that more elementary level introduction out of the way, basically what I want you to do, Zach, take the wheel, right? And I want you to go ahead and go as early as possible in what you feel is relevant in your life to becoming the Zach Atwell that everybody knows today. The screamy, screamy boy in Conjured, graphic artist, sound engineer, literally fucking everything that you feel is relevant. And until, Conjured becomes rich and famous off of making pretty heavy fucking music, Basically, my job, I feel, is to provide you spotlight, be as close to David Attenborough as possible, get Nat Geo level on that shit, and basically just tell your story. So you take it away, sir.
I mean, man, it's pretty open-ended. Basically the only thing I kind of grew up, my brother pushed me onto like Slipknot and all those bands, and it just kind of catapulted from there. And I started doing bands like here and there, like kiddie projects when I was like from 12 to 16. And then I started bands here and there, did a few tours and stuff like that. And I ended up moving to Florida for a little bit. And I started doing the sound engineering things. I was producing like rappers in the area, like little no-name guys. And yeah, and then ended up making my way to Texas. And I was like, I want to do heavy music again, but I don't have anyone to do it because I didn't know anyone out here. So there's technically two iterations of Conjured. There was an EP that's no longer available. That was just solely my project.
Right.
And then after, because as of October 2022, we played our first show and we had like the actual lineup. And that's when Shinigami was written and everything on the Poltergeist EP. But yeah, just through the course of everything, like I've done all the logos for all my bands and then kind of teetered my way into it. But yeah, I don't know if I'm missing any more details on it. I mean, I've just been practicing vocals and learning stuff as I go. If you know, grow up without, or if you don't grow up with a lot of money, you kind of have to like teach yourself all these different
Improvise.
avenues. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To adapt and overcome.
Scuba Steve.
Yeah, exactly. um, so I mean, digging as much as possible because I mean, like, dude, this is your time to like tell every little detail that you're willing to tell.
Right.
And you know, even if it does take a good chunk of time, as long as you're willing to hang out for a good chunk of time, then like the time is yours.
Oh, it's our date night, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's our first date night, you know. Get over here, Zach. So I mean, well, where did everything start, right? Like, what really started getting you into heavy music? Like, I want to go that early,
Well,
and
that
just like
early.
finding out about your first bands and stuff. And you mentioned your brother, right? Like your brother kind
Yeah.
of like shoved you into all that, and you mentioned bands like Slipknot. Um, so like, what do you remember the album, band, or song, or like? How deep in the moment can you go to when you heard your first metal song and you're like, that's it, bro. That's it. Like, I need to do that.
I have a strange feeling I've like blacked out a bunch of stuff that'll come into therapy, but the first memory I
Oh,
have of it is Iowa, like the album. Yeah. It's like the most raw energy into it, and it's just kind of catapulted me like further and further down.
that's fair.
And then growing up in like the MySpace era, because we're getting old now.
We're getting
All
older.
those
Yeah.
bands, yeah. Back when Rose Funeral still slept. Well, no, Rose Funeral's back now. But
Mm,
yeah, like when all that stuff was kicking off, and just delved into like how nasty of a snarl can I hear clicking
yeah.
through all these links? Yeah.
See, what was your favorite? Like, stupid question. Like this sounds cringy as hell, even when I say it. What was like your favorite MySpace era deathcore band?
I don't know if they count, but the one that stood out the most was do you remember Kill Whitney Dead?
No, so here's the thing. Here's the disconnect, quite unfortunately. I was never a part of the MySpace era. Like I got into deathcore
Ah,
during like the Black Crown and the cleansing for Suicide Silence. I'm like, what is this? And then
oh,
I
okay.
checked out like Chelsea Grin's Playing with Fire. I checked out Whitechapel's This Is Exile or wait, The Saw is the Law and all that.
Yeah.
That's when I got started with deathcore. Before that,
Okay.
nothing. I know nothing.
It's basically it's a lot of like movie samples and obnoxious things like that rated into breakdowns. And it's like, this is fantastic. I can hear the Kill Bill soundtrack and slamming riffs. Let's go.
Let's go. Good shit. Um, so you said what was your favorite MySpace deathcore band. Like you consider them deathcore. I don't really care what anybody else thinks because I'm sure everybody had their toxic like genre. Like, yeah, this isn't deathcore. This isn't
Oh
slam.
no. I 100% back gatekeeping because it's funny. Uh,
It is. It is.
I mean, Kill Whitney Dead was one of them.
Kill Winnie Dead. Okay.
I found Chelsea Grin around that area too. Uh, I am a die-hard Chelsea Grin fan.
Favorite album by them?
Ooh.
Because
Unpopular. It might be the Evolve EP of some of my favorite stuff.
gotcha. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can call me fake as fuck. My favorite one is Eternal Nightmare so far. Like
it's really
that
good though.
it's really good. It's probably their I don't know, like there's something special about it that even outweighs suffer in heaven, suffer in hell for me. Like the idea, the premise of that double album is really, really cool to me. But like nothing can beat Dead Rose to me
You
as
see,
far as Tom Barber era.
I didn't know that the Suffer and I didn't know it was a split album. So I
Oh.
heard the one, I was like, sick, we got a new Chelsea Grin album. I didn't find out till like last month that there was a second part to it, and I was like, oh fuck, I got a whole nother album to listen to.
Fair enough, man. That's that's
Like a
good
bonus
shit.
present, man. I got so excited because I I don't use social media like that. Like it's
Mm,
you, if you check any of my stuff out, it's like here's my band, here's my art, nothing else.
right. That's fair.
Hiding under my rock.
Right. Well, dude, that's the thing too. Like sometimes you can't really afford to waste your energy and constantly be up to date and connected with more and more and more people. Like I happen to do the Anatomy Crosscast because I like being there at the beginning to see tinier, like smaller bands.
Mhm.
I make it sound like an ego boost thing or some shit. Just like, yeah, I represent all the smaller bands or some stupid shit. Like, no,
That's
I
fine.
like being there at the beginning. I like being there,
Right.
obviously falling in love with the music, having an authentic connection with it. But like, what I also enjoy is telling their story right off the bat before they have all these like fucking Keemstar ass interviewers meeting up with them and just like, well, how's tour going? Or like, how's the new album? And that's all they have to ask is like, what the fuck, dude? Like, get more intimate with the
What's
bands
your
that you
favorite
talk to.
color though?
Well, yeah, what's your favorite color though? What's your favorite Call of Duty camo? Like, there's some stupid shit.
It
Like,
was the Halloween skins, by the way. No.
nice, nice. Wait, from which game though?
No, I was talking about this earlier, and this is a
Oh,
slight tangent. Did you play Warzone?
which one?
The first one.
Yes.
I spent so much money on skins on that fucking game, and I can't use them anymore. And I'm so
Ah,
upset about it. So I
I
won't play
would be
Call of
upset
Duty
too.
again.
You're just like, fuck God, bro.
Yeah, no, it's
It's a trap. I can admit that it's like one of the biggest gamer thirst traps to ever
yeah.
exist because it's like you want to get it, you want to get that Black Ops 2 remastered. Like, no, fuck off, bro.
I'm gonna go back to my nerd stuff and just play Souls games.
Right? No, seriously, I haven't touched any of the Souls games. I think like the nerdiest game that I've loved was Fallout 4. And everybody's like, Fallout 4 is the worst Fallout ever. I'm like, it's like
Well,
Minecraft, but better.
well,
Well,
the best Fallout is New Vegas, but 4 is not
that's what I've
terrible.
heard. That's what I've
Yeah.
heard. Yo, at least I can agree with everybody that fucking 76 was terrible.
I
Answer, bro.
listen.
Listen.
I got that shit on launch. I played it for all of 30 minutes and I was livid because it was unplayable. Like, even on console, just instantly crashed. I'm like, sick. I wasted my money.
Yep, I'm surprised more people didn't like riot and like, charge the Bethesda studio just like just like the fucking union workers in the Fallout 4 cinematic.
Jesus, yeah.
War never changes. It's like Bethesda's getting rioted.
Well, supposedly they're doing a Hulu show or something like that.
Amazon
Something's
Prime
going.
show, and it
Yeah,
actually looks pretty lit. Like
I've
I
seen
will
like
watch
screen
that
caps
show.
of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it looks really impressive. And like I try not to be just so obliviously positive, right? So like no, so naively positive regarding that type of shit. But I
Yeah.
watched the trailer. I'm like, this actually looks pretty good.
I didn't know there was a trailer out.
There's a trailer out. Oh yeah,
No, we'll
baby.
have to check that out. Yeah. Because I was like, I gatekeep the shit out of The Last of Us before I seen it. And I was like, oh, this is
Mm.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was actually a really good show. I didn't play the game because at least up to this point, and quote, until I make a gaming YouTube channel where I am playing these single player games, I have no interest in playing them. And like
Right.
it feels fake as fuck, but it's authentically like I want to have that coach co-op
Couch. Yeah, I got you.
couch couch co-op experience with someone.
Right.
I want to build a following and just know that I sat down with someone and low-key monetized off of it when I did play games like that. Because they're big investments, bro.
We got
But
bills, man. I understand.
we got bills, exactly. But with that in mind, this is exactly what I was talking about. But I welcome this type of shit. Tangents, bro. Tangents. Talking about nerd shit. Let's go. And immediately, I like Mr. Zach Atwell so much more. This first date is going
That's
incredibly.
fantastic. I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. Will you pass the salt? With that in mind, I was like trying to pry and like poke and prod a little bit more because you were mentioning the MySpace era deathcore bands like Kill
Right.
Chelsea Dead or Kill
Kill
uh
Whitney Dead. Yeah.
so close, damn it. Kill Whitney Dead, Chelsea Grin. So after that, after the MySpace era ended, you said you're not really on social media much to like catch up with these new and breakthrough bands per se.
I
So what I would want to ask is after the MySpace era concluded, what were some bands that really stood out to you and do you still listen to them?
I mean, I stayed with Chelsea Grin for like the entirety of it.
Fair.
Uh, honestly, a lot of what because I don't, I don't know if you hit that era because there's a lot of just like YouTubers that kind of put on bands doing like the interviews, like the what is his name? He got canceled. I don't remember.
But not Keemstar?
No, not canceled. The Brian Stars guy.
Oh,
Like he would shout out bands on a final album like that.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I always thought that Brian Starr and Keemstar were like the same thing.
it's the emo kid version of it. Yeah, just about.
Oh,
Yeah,
I hear you. Okay. Well,
yeah.
now I know my lore as far as canceled YouTubers and shit
There's a lot.
or something. Yeah,
You gotta do the
there's a
deep dive channels, man. I'm insomniac, man. That's just all I do. It's like, oh, they got
Mm,
canceled in 2016. That's crazy.
you're like the fucking YouTuber librarian over here, bro. You're like, I know this motherfucker who was canceled back in 2016. Let
Well,
me
no,
pull up his archives.
the Wayback Machine.
The
No, it's
way-
I used to work overnight, so just like ingest so
Oh,
much dumb shit.
I'm sure a whole bunch of brain fog just to like let the night move by.
Just driving on the forklift mindlessly all night. Yeah.
Like what's Keemstar up to? Oh wait, never mind. Like
But yeah, a lot of the bands that stood out. It kind of bounced back and forth because like I consume so much music
yeah,
that's kind of hard to keep track of them. Chelsea Grin's a big one. More recently, like Currents, super big into
currents.
them.
Okay.
Uh, trying to think. Oh, there's so many bands. Fit
Right.
for an Autopsy.
Fit for an autopsy. Hell yeah. Sea of Tragic Beast or Oh What the Future Holds.
Oh, the Future Olds.
Really?
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Okay. I respect that.
and I got real into a rut with like the new wave of hardcore. Like I'm an
Mm.
absolute slut for Traders.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Traders, Dark Complex, all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Mm. That's fair. Let's see. Are you a fan of Orthodox?
I'm not super. I see the Windbreakers at the shows, crowd killing. I haven't checked them out if I'm being honest.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, I'm not exactly gonna be a freaking like algorithm Karen, just like you haven't listened to this
Well, actually, this band started 30 minutes ago.
band.
Yeah. Because when I was living in Virginia, there's like a big hardcore scene down there.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's this sick band. Hold up, not me looking at my phone. I gotta check who this is.
No, you're good. You're good.
Uh, I don't know if they're still a band, but there's this sick band called Witness from Roanoke, Virginia.
Ooh, that's a cool
And
name, actually.
yeah, it's like crowd kill country. It's sick.
Roadkill
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
That's cool.
It's like
Oh,
sworn in
okay,
with more
okay. You mean
testosterone
just
kind of
like
stuff.
from the crowd kill part of the country, not like country with crowd kill elements in it.
No, yeah, no. There's no country. Just bluegrass beating the shit out of each other. Hell yeah.
With enough whiskey, you could probably compensate no fucking problem, boy. Good shit. Um, let's see. Okay. Here's a good question for you because quote, you've been bouncing around a lot throughout your life.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite city? And like, what's been your favorite scene? There's a lot of favorite questions tonight, and it's cringy as fuck, but
It's fun. It's first dates, man. We're both nervous. We can
yeah,
hold hands
first day.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best scene that I've been in is the one we're in now.
Okay. Yeah,
Like,
Texas.
yeah, because
But
we're from,
that's so general. Like
well, no, specifically because we're so close to Austin.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hell yeah.
Because like all of the big acts come through. Because it's like driving 45 minutes to go see like Chelsea Grin and then Brand of Sacrifice, Filth, all those bands. I'm just like, oh fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Which it has definitely helped us like progress quickly because technically we've been playing shows for like right over a year, and
Okay.
we just got to play with Attila and Gideon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then
That's right. I saw that band poster actually, where I saw that show poster. That was sick.
yeah, and then we're playing with Up Sulfur and like Mental Cruelty and all that stuff.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. I'm sure
Trying,
you're looking
trying out
forward to
here.
that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like the scene here. It's like it's a high market town for like touring bands and stuff, so there's a lot more opportunities out this way.
Hell
It's
yeah.
just kind of where you like depending town to town how it's going to do. Austin's sick. Surprisingly, there's this tiny town. It's like it's extremely small. I don't know a good phrase for it. Victoria, Texas, where it's like
Ooh, okay.
it's like 4 hours from us, and we pulled up to this venue, and it was like a strip mall bar, and we were like, oh, okay, it's going to be a tiny thing, and then it packs out with like 100 plus people in it.
Ooh,
So it's
okay.
just like the scene goes wild here.
Yeah, and I mean that's also just a generalization for like most of Texas. Like, I don't know. From what I've understood, my mom's side of the family is from Texas. They're from
Mhm.
Austin, actually.
Okay.
Um, this is really cool. That I'm like getting in touch with more bands from the Austin area. But it's like really Texas has a massive scene and it's such a big state that
Yeah.
like South Texas is a completely different animal from West, East, and North Texas. Like North Texas, Panhandle. That's basically what
Yeah.
it is, right? So like there's such a big difference between all of it, but at the end of the day, as long as you're like at least 25% confident in being Texas, you're like, everybody from here in Texas, boy, like we're all family or whatever the fuck. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
something like that.
something
I
like
haven't.
that.
No, I'm still considered a transplant, man.
That's fair.
You gotta
Okay,
be here 10 years. Yeah.
yeah, a decade, bro. What the fuck?
I don't know. I've heard like nine different things.
Have you adapted the tongue?
No. I see. It's like my voice is lower, so I have to actively make it higher, or I just sound like I'm talking to a train. Yeah.
So you're talking to a train. That's an interesting way of putting it. Okay. Well, as we're continuing to learn about Mr. Atwell here, um, I think what would be most important to your listeners to that of the drum roll? the 107 monthly listeners so far, which I mean, you're doing better than me. So shout out to you, bro.
It
Um,
fluctuates, man.
yeah. um, Something that I think Conjured fans would definitely love to hear is if you were in any other band projects before this one yourself.
Notable ones. I was in Feasting on Your Friends when I lived in Virginia.
Oh shit. I think I've actually heard of that project.
Yeah. I was in, God, I was in a bunch of terrible bands.
Weren't we all?
Yeah. Trying to think. I was in a project called Identified by Their Teeth.
That's a
Uh,
sick name. What the fuck?
uh, I was in a really terrible metalcore band called A Starless Sky. Yeah, that was like teenage stuff. It because there was like 9 different iterations of each of those bands of like, yeah, we're gonna be metalcore, then we're gonna be deathcore. Yeah.
Nice.
Thankfully, I missed the SoundCloud rap era when I was growing up, so it's fine. I don't have
I
enough
had
face
too many
tattoos for it.
friends. I
Yeah.
had too many friends who tried to do that. It just didn't end up well. That and they just, they became dicks because of it. So I'm like, okay, fuck you, get out of my face. And like they
Right.
just disappeared. Like I don't even know where they are now. But um let's see. So yeah, you were in plenty of projects before then. So that's pretty cool. What got you into graphic art design, man?
Purely out of being a broke kid and wanting a cool logo. That was it. Like I just that my band needed a logo, my band needed merch, we needed album artwork. So I'm like, well, I guess it's time to figure this out.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes honestly, you have to kind of juggle 3 to 4 different things at once when you're in a band or when you're wanting to be in a band project. And I mean, fucking Angel Maker, bro. Mike Greenwood made their logo.
Yeah.
Boom.
I
Like,
mean, all those guys are doing like 90 things.
that's very true. That's very, very true. Let's not forget that, people. Angel Maker is way too busy for their own good. No, I'm kidding. Um, I'm not an Angel Maker. I can't say that. I'm sure
Johnny's
they're doing
project is fucking
fine.
sick though. Have you checked out Carcosa?
Yes, I love Carcosa.
Yeah.
Have you checked out Gorehammer?
I have not. Is that one of theirs?
That's Colton, Johnny, and Big Chocolate from Disfiguring the Goddess. They made a slam project.
What was that called again? I gotta type that though.
Gorehammer. They
Warhammer.
have an indie merch drop already. Like they got that shit set up super quick.
They got to running a business, man.
True.
That's the unfortunate part about the music thing is you have to like think about the business aspects and everything now too. But
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
If it sounds good, it sounds good. I'll back
If
anything.
it sounds good, it sounds good. Exactly, bro. Exactly. I haven't listened to anything from Gorehammer, but I have a feeling it's really good. A lot of people are like, "Ooh, like, ooh, this is
I mean,
fire."
if Johnny's doing it, it's going to be insane.
Exactly. And if Colton's also doing it, bringing in that like whinier raw spectrum and shit,
Yeah,
yummy. Um, so I mean yeah, I mean sometimes you just need stuff like that to compel you
yeah.
to get into different creative mediums for your band.
It's out of necessary. Like anything that I've learned outside of just doing music in general is just out of necessity.
Right, exactly. So let's see that, and I guess I would want to inquire, and this will probably end up going to the second part of the show or like the second recording for the show.
Mm.
Um, what got you into sound engineering? What got you into audio engineering?
Out of well, it's out of necessity because I did Feastings, uh some of their singles. And then when I moved to Florida, I was doing like beats for rappers. So it was just kind of playing with this, trying to make extra money, and then doing it for feasting because we needed it and we couldn't afford it.
Heard.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's see. We've kind of conquered all of your creative mediums so far. I guess the next question I would have for you are like, what are some like really impactful life lessons that you've learned throughout your whole entire journey as being a creative mind?
Creative mind. Sounds mushy, but self-expression is extremely important.
Mm,
Yeah, keeping all that shit canned inside is terrible. Like I don't know if you particularly have like delved into like 90% of the lyrics on the Poltergeist EP. It's mostly just sad shit. It's like a
Usually
way to
is.
yeah, yeah, it's a way to get everything out. You need a way to express yourself, or you're just going to like bog yourself down and keep going down a down spiral.
Exactly. Fair enough, man. Good shit. And we'll definitely be talking about the lyrical contents of Poltergeist as we get deeper into session. Let's see. What are some of the most profound interactions that you've had with fellow musicians in the scene? You know, of course, you don't have to name anybody specifically, but like whether it be negative or positive experiences, I think people would want to hear about your own.
It's mostly just it it makes a major difference when you meet like looking up to one of your heroes. Like I got to meet all the dudes from Chelsea Grin when I was still a teenager, like when Alex was still in the band, and all of them just being genuinely like nice dudes makes such a difference. Or like I know a few of the like I work with Matt from the Bunny the Bear, and then I've worked with the guys in Curses and stuff like that. Like it's the genuine connections of just not having a rock star ego and everyone's more down to earth.
Part two unleashed. So we kind of got the creative mediums of Mr. Atwell here of conquered, more or less. So I think one thing that I would want to ask before we go ahead and conclude what will be the first half of the Anatomy Crosscast, episode 64, 65. It's one of those for sure. Losing
Almost
track.
positive.
Almost positive, right? On our first day here, most importantly, too, between the Anatomy Crosscast and Conjured, would be after all this time, after you've done everything you've could, after you've adapted and overcame, you've applied yourself to as many creative mediums as possible regarding what you do and your contributions to Conjured. Basically, my question would be, I want to go ahead and pluck 5 characters off of you. The category for these characters would be bands, albums, songs, or people completely separate from our musical world that helped you they motivated you, they inspired you to do what you do today for Conjured.
Oh, there's like 900 answers to that, man.
Exactly. There's the diamonds, bro. There's all that pressure.
Album wise, personally, the plot and use happiness and self-destruction.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it helped me a lot through some rough times. Uh, as far as that, Chelsea Grin's been like one of my biggest inspirations since I was as long as I can remember. Uh, Unrelated music scene, probably my brother, because he kind of catapulted this whole thing, and he's been like the rock because growing up was weird. Uh,
It usually is when you have a
yeah,
story to tell later on, you know? You got to live through that story first.
yeah, still working on it, but we'll come back in a few years, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Uh, man,
Oh
you caught
yeah,
me with the pants then. Oh, you got snacks?
I got subs, bro. You want a sub?
No, I'm I'm gonna go with the easy out. Just list bands. Uh, Not super like prevalent in our music. Outkast is a super big influence. Yeah. Uh, Honestly, I don't even know if they're a band anymore, but it had a super big influence on me. Growing up, I was like 13. I went to like one of my first like rec shows, like only local bands thing,
Mm,
and this band called Insult or Injury. I don't remember what state they were from. You'd have to figure because there's probably 90 bands with that name.
mm.
But just seeing like it was this tiny rec room that ended up getting packed out. And it's like they came out with like the all button ups on with like the metalcore vibes, like the crazy energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lasting impression. They have a cool song called Dead Weight. Yeah.
Okay. I'll actually go ahead and look that up real quick, see if we can find that, because that would be really fun to find out a band with such an awesome name that just brought the energy for good old Zach here. This is
Oh yeah,
definitely
no,
stuff
their
you do
their
on the
stage
first date.
presence stuck, dude. That's one of the biggest things, like live performances. Like if your stage presence isn't there, it's way less entertaining to watch.
That's very
Like
true.
Mike Haranica from The Devil Wears Prada, like he doesn't scream half his lyrics because he's out of breath,
Yeah.
and it's so good.
That's the thing with the Devil Wears Prada. Like I think of the Devil Wears Prada, and I think of like the more whiny, like
Mhm.
screamy, just raw
Yeah,
spectrum. And I can never pinpoint which vocalist does that for the band, but it's some pretty good shit. Like I love that style of vocals.
if you like that, you should check out Curses from
Okay.
West Virginia. Yeah, they're super
West
tight.
Virginia, country
Mountain
road.
Mama. Yeah,
Curses. Does their profile have like purple art? No.
probably.
Their latest
It,
single was Tempest.
yeah, yeah, those dudes are sick.
Lit. Okay. I'll definitely look into them. Most likely they'll be, a future band that we host on the Crosscast. That could be pretty fun, depending on how things go. Just like Conjured sent me, and they're like, "Oh shit, oh shit!" But
Yeah, I fucking love Eli. They're good people.
sick. So that would be 5 different. I think we got 5, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
ADHD
So
is going crazy, man.
mine too. Um, and that soju's not helping either. Christ.
It's always
Um,
problematic. Like I always have to have someone with me to keep me reined in, or I just like completely like, do you want to talk about Star Wars for an hour? Let's go.
and that I can't talk about for an hour. I'll tell you fucking what. That'll be for a future day. That'll be for
There
the
we go.
second date for sure. So as we've now conquered the 5 characters from Zach concerning his creative contributions to Conjured as a band, which very, very awesome band. They released a pretty fucking solid EP earlier this year in April. And that's just the beginning, right? Like there's so much more that I know this band will conquer in the near future. Um, amongst other things, me 3 years ago would definitely not like their logo, but I appreciate it now. It's very simple, right? It's got that pretty formula friendly, not typical. Typical is a nasty word because it's like fucking basic, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm
You're
trying to
fine.
say is the crescent on top of the logo is very formula friendly, but I didn't realize until I looked into the bitter details and like the fine details that it actually is pretty original. The application, the use of the crescent on top of the logo. I actually like the way you did that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. So
It was intentional to have it that clean because when it's smaller on a flyer, we want it to be legible. Because
yeah,
it's a good graphic rule that you want to be able to read your name from 10 feet away. Yeah.
that's fair. I'm a terrible podcast host stuffing my face with this. Yeah, that's fair. I agree. No.
Muffin Purple Gurk. Yep.
Yeah, but as we descend into the second half of the first date with Conjured, basically, you're no longer Zach. Okay, you're Conjured, right? You're speaking
Sick.
for the entirety of the it's sick upgrade.
I have 4 dicks. Let's go.
Four dicks. You're just like helicopter, full of fucking helicopter.
I'm a Chinook now. Let's go.
Wow. So basically, I have a couple questions for you. They're pretty basic for someone who casually listens to Conjured, has listened to Poltergeist once. Is like, okay, I'm gonna get these guys on a podcast now. So my first question for you, just kind of enter yourself into an imaginary scenario because you guys have had the opportunity to play a couple times now. So I can't exactly say, imagine you're playing live for the first time because I would sound like a fucking idiot. Um, and I've done that with most of the bands before so far. So this is a nice little correction to formula. But just imagine any of the fans that you've had. Imagine one of them from the shows that you've done so far walking up to you, And basically they're sweaty as shit coming up to the merch table. They're like, yeah, dude.
Usually.
Yeah, right. Usually bathing in sweat. They're nice and oily for like an oil commercial, sun tanning commercial. But the thing is, like, their hair is sticking to their face, like, that was insane. You guys are the openers or whatever, just crackhead energy or some shit. But in all actuality, this one individual, this one fan approaches your table because he's tired of shit from moshing so hard, because he's like, it's all about the openers, man.
If only.
And right. And he asked this question: why the name Conjured?
So realistically, I wish there was a better backstory behind it. I just like the name. It, it's it seemed like the era of like the multi-word crazy band names have been kind of cycling out, and I was like, okay, what's not trademarked? What would fit the vibe? Because it's like the dark, introspect, creepy stuff with like all the ambient stuff. So it just kind of made sense, and it wasn't taken because there's too many bands of like the X, Y, and Z state. Like prime example, there's like insult to injury, New Jersey, and then about it's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's one of my favorite things, though, is when a band will kind of also label themselves by the state that they're from. Like Kublai Khan, Texas. You never fucking forget that. But also,
You can
in
tell
that
those
scenario,
dudes are from Texas though.
yeah, like seriously.
That dude is calling out depression for a fist fight.
Yeah, seriously. And I don't know. I think it's always really, really cool because, as far as I'm concerned, not only does that provide a better trademark for your band name when
Mhm.
you announce yourself as being from Texas, but for example, if I remember correctly, the town that Conjured specifically is from is Fort Willing, correct?
No. Close.
No,
Killeen.
Fort Killeen.
No, it's just Killeen. We're right next
Killeen.
to it's now called Fort Chavez. They changed the name.
Oh, okay, okay. So, all right, now of course I messed that up.
You do a great, princess.
Stop.
Stop. Yeah.
Stop. Um, so the town that you guys are from, this smaller town over in Texas that's relevantly close to Austin, to be like, yeah, we'll be there in like half an hour to open up for Kublai Khan and all these other motherfuckers. But like, imagine, bro, Conjured from Killeen or whatever, and like having that on the sleeves of any future merch. People remember that shit. And especially if you decide to make any type of marketing strategy, like making a Killeen off a Conjured, making a killing off a Conjured Killeen. That could be so rude. Yeah.
Insert the rim shot.
Right. That could be incredibly ruthless depending on the mindset of the band or the band project. And I know I personally love that shit. I joined a band project recently, Hardcore Beatdown. It's meant to be a
Let's
mix
go.
now. Yeah, it's gonna be good shit. Um, it's a mix, I would say, of Knocked Loose, Body Snatcher, and Orthodox with our own little shit mixed into it. We have a very, very whiny fry scream based vocalist. His name is Jacob. Shout out to him. He's an absolute treasure. Great dude. And then lots of whammies, lots of
Some alpha
like,
wolf energy.
yeah, exactly.
I
Alpha
love
wolf
that shit.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be the bassist and backup vocalist for this band, bringing
Nice.
some more like slam slash deathcore oriented gutter rules and shit.
Right.
And it balances out so well in the mix, bro. It balances out so well in the mix.
You need to DM some demos, man.
I absolutely will,
Hell
because
yeah, let's go.
it's gonna be so good. And one thing that I've been marketing with them is like home turf. Okay. So when I first listened to their demos, I'm like, this is pretty fucking turf tough, dude.
Yeah.
So, because our main founding member is from San Diego, I was like,
Yeah.
turf tough surfing, bro. Like that type of shit. And I just kept
Right.
on building off of that. And one of my favorite things to say as an Arizona native when I go to shows, let's bring that triple digit heat, bitch. So that's becoming a new
That's a
thing in
hard
the
mosh
band.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like bring that triple digit heat, Death Valley neighbor, motherfucker. Like, that type
Yeah.
of thing. It's so much fun. And it allows for bands to kind of personalize and stand out from the rest instead of just be like, I think Body Snatcher is one of my favorite examples. Like just all the goofy shit that they do for call outs during their
What's
sets.
up, bitch? Yeah.
Yeah, like, what's
Yeah.
up, bitch? Fuck you. It's too fucking late. I love Body Snatcher for that.
Same.
They've contributed a lot to that kind of culture, and they've made it to where you don't have to be so serious to fucking kick someone's ass in the most productive way possible and not
Right.
actually kick their ass. Just like, good old elbows in there. As if, you're missing the other half of your arm or some shit.
I don't, man, you got to do the full swing, the spin kicks and everything. Commit.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just a pussy. I can easily admit that. I'm a pussy. I don't like the idea of getting roundhouse in the fucking face because that happened the first time I went to go see No, the second time. Because that was when they were doing their This Heavy Void
Mm,
headliner, and they
yeah.
had Great American Ghost and all those boys on the tour. I remember I got roundhouse in the face. I got roundhouse in the nads. And
Nice.
then I finally had to take a break when I got roundhouse in the gut. So it wasn't my nads or my face that caught me off guard. It's when the same fucking pit ninja decided to roundhouse me in the gut. I was like, oh, like I had to take a break and step away from the pit. But um
I have to be
and
careful with it now because my ears are so big that I
yes, oh
just
my,
like
oh
that'll,
dude,
yeah.
oh, I can't
It's
even
a real
imagine
fear.
that.
It's a real
He's just like,
fear.
whoop.
Yeah.
No,
Have
it's
spaghetti noodles
crazy.
hanging off. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, just ruin your night. Enjoy your food now.
mm, yummy. Um, so obviously we asked the question more or less like, what is the reason for the name Conjured? And you're like, well, it's easy to read. The logo is easy to read. It's easy to market. It's easy to remember. Fair. Like one of the first steps to heavy music, Spite, Body Snatcher, Traders, Paleface, Swiss.
Yeah.
All those bands, those are one word names. Orthodox, bro. Who the fuck names their band Orthodox? Adam Easterling and the boys. I'll tell you what. Um, they're like, well, it's not orthodox at all, the music that we make. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. That's how you do it. So I completely understand. I respect the idea behind that. And I mean, it's another one of those past tense names. Suffocated, devoured, conjured. A lot of past tense these days. A lot of past tense. But um one thing I wanted to ask is that since you've had the opportunity with the boys to write the music that you have for Conjured,
Right.
has anything changed about the meaning behind the name for you? Like, is there lore that you've kind of thought about behind the scenes that coincides with your discography?
It doesn't particularly just go with there's a lot more of like retrospective what we're trying to do. Uh it's basically just became like an outlet for getting like the past 24 years of shit up my chest. I can't really speak for what everyone else considers it to be, but that's mainly what I kind of view it as now.
Hell yeah. And would you easily say that when it comes to you writing what you do, I can only
Mm.
imagine lyric writing for the band, that's kind of the premise that you have in mind for the lyrical content too?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basically like therapy's expensive, so here you guys go.
You're not wrong. And like you probably would spend the same amount of money, if not more, just getting professional help as opposed to like being your own therapist and just like kind of ripping it out of you and then turning into music. So
Right.
I know I'm with you on that. All right, so we have those two kind of basic questions answered. Like it's always important to learn the answers behind them, right? Band
Yeah.
by band, musician by musician. But oftentimes it's a more casual response, and that's completely okay. That just comes with the history, that comes with the legacy. And if you decide to edit that later in time, well, you do. And then I'll be like, any updates or whatever.
Redacted. Redacted.
Right? Redacted. Yeah. So I think now would be an excellent time to go ahead and dig into Poltergeist as an EP. So let's go ahead and do some track by track lyrical analysis, and let's go under the skin of Poltergeist. This EP, fantastic, independently released. 6 tracks of pretty goodness. That was terrible grammar, but you guys know what I say.
Good
You
or
guys,
goodest.
yeah, good, goodness. So basically, with this EP, with Poltergeist in mind, what I want to do is I want to enter you into another imaginary scenario. You're walking into a library.
Imagination.
Imagination, exactly. You walk into a library. You're not in Conjured. You're definitely not the front man of Conjured. We're about to fucking humble you, kid. Because here's the thing. You are just a casual bookworm, right? This is a parallel dimension where you're walking into a library and you find a book that reads Conjured, Poltergeist. You're like, what's this? What does this mean? Why? It looks weird. It doesn't look like your normal book. So you grab the book, you see the album cover. That's the art for the bind, right?
All right.
And then you turn around, and as you would with any other book, you see on the back that there's a little chunk of passage. It's supposed to intrigue you to open the book that is Poltergeist. Look into the lore. Well, the lyrical content that's on this record in our reality, right? And you see a little chunk of passage on the back trying to get you to open up this book, get you to read it in the first place. To you, what would that excerpt passage say?
Shinigami, take me.
Shinigami, take me. I like that. So, Shinigami, take me. It's like, okay, simple but effective. I'm confused, so I'm going to open the book. And before, of course, we start reading the book, I wanted to inquire upon the EP's cover art. Now, when I originally saw this and I recorded the session that I did, I'm like, is this AI art? Like, I can't tell. So I want you to go ahead and provide me as much lore as possible behind the EP cover art, whether it be the artist or like the intentions behind the visualizer.
It was basically just a bunch of like shitty sketch ghosts just warped over and over again with stacked overlays on top of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was a lot of like bullshit experimentation. Uh yeah, it's basically just spirits because Poltergeist. Yeah. I wish there
Okay.
was a cooler idea behind that. It's just ghosts.
Ghosts are pretty cool. Like I know one thing I want to do in the future is not do music videos the way that most people do them, but actually do like found footage music videos. I think that would be super sick.
That's a cool ass idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I've always been intrigued by the idea of course, with respect and kind of getting consent where you can from the dead. Um, like I say that you're like, you planning on taking pictures of corpses or some shit? It's like, no. I mean like ghost pictures, like incorporating and putting a whole bunch of ghost pictures together and
Okay.
incorporating that into like EP and album art or even like visualizers and shit. I've always liked the idea of doing that. And I've
Right.
always been extremely intrigued by the idea of capturing anything on camera. Of course with consent, but that's really cool. And if anything, if the cover is just like, yeah, ghosts, bro, ghosts, then I guess my next question would be as to the reason that you ended up naming the EP Poltergeist.
Basically kind of the laying to rest of the past few years and it not staying buried. Yeah.
Okay. So the idea of something being laid to rest, but not fully resting, like it's still, you said
Yeah.
still stirring.
Yeah. Yeah. Things
And
just kind of haunt you regardless if they're said or done.
fair enough. I actually like that idea. So with that in mind, the first track that we have is Poltergeist. And I don't know if you have any more context, lyrically speaking, to provide ahead of the reason why you name this EP Poltergeist. But of course, we have to learn about the title track. We have to dig as much as we can into the lyrical content. Take it away, sir.
It's Poltergeist is pretty blunt with the opening line of fucking kill me. Take my life. Yeah. It's basically just the blunt on head spearheading of suicidal ideation.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Depression and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, we love to hear it. Track 2, we have Ghosts.
Oh, it's best way to put just bitterness on a lot of things. Things kind of biting you in the ass. A lot of relationships that went sour, like be it with like family members, stepdads, dads, all that stuff. Yeah. A lot of things left unsaid that can't be done now. Yeah.
Understood. Track 3, we have Fortune Teller.
Uh it was kind of more of an abstract idea, just the what's the word for it? The habitual gloom of everything, of just the state of the world and then how you perceive everything. Like if you expect bad things, bad shit's gonna happen to you.
Ah, like manifestations and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just
Gotcha.
kind of playing off that. Like if you think things are looking grim, then they're gonna be grim.
Heard.
Yep.
And it's always important to focus your perspective and focus
Yeah.
your emotional state. Because
Yeah.
I know for sure, like for a long time, I was in a very dark place, but because I was constantly thinking about that instead of trying to fight to get out of it, well, it continued. It sustained itself.
Yeah. It's a vicious ass cycle.
Yeah. Track 4, we have Death Bloom.
Uh Death Bloom is about uh kind of the bits and pieces I remember of my biological dad.
Okay.
He's not a very nice guy. Uh
Neither is mine. I'm with you on that.
yeah. Uh yeah, he was he had substance abuse issues and got physical and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's just kind of delving into that.
Heard. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry that happened.
Yeah, you grow from it, man.
Yeah, you go from it. Exactly. Track 5, we have Shinigami, which was like literally my intro to this band. So shout out to
Yeah.
Shinigami.
It's everyone's favorite. Uh it's basically just trying to come to grips with who you are as a person and not liking what you're seeing. Yeah. It
Fair
all
enough.
has an overarching theme of just the suicidal ideation, depression kind of stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Gotcha. And track 6, the final track on this EP, the final track on the most recent material so far for Conjured, track 6 would be Don't Fall Asleep.
How grim can I get real quick?
Yeah, get grim.
Okay, cool. Don't Fall Asleep is basically about the fear of what you'll do if you're left alone too long.
Mm,
Yeah, the isolation of um ill intentions upon yourself, and if you're by yourself, then you can act on those.
right.
Yeah. Oh, I think I lost you.
One
Oh,
fucking day.
hey, voice
One
coming through
day.
like butter.
I said, well, basically what I was saying was like that is indeed a grim conclusion, but like that also leaves everybody who's always hungry for heavy music, hungry for
Yeah,
more, you know.
yeah.
Good shit. So that was
Mental
Poltergeist.
breakdowns over breakdowns. That's what we're
Yeah,
about.
exactly. That's a good marketing thing. Mental breakdowns over breakdowns. Love it. So that was their latest EP. That was Poltergeist. And I mean, quite literally at this moment, that is all that they have on their Spotify. So that would be Fyonk, the Under the Skin session for Poltergeist by Conjured. And I mean, honestly, like it's actually kind of strange being at the tail end of the podcast session so early.
Let's talk about Star Wars.
Let's talk about Star Wars. Okay, favorite movie, go.
Oh fuck, you have my pants down now.
That was a oh fuck.
I didn't think you were gonna swing for it, man. That's hard. Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Revenge of the Sith for sure. That was the most emotionally impactful for me.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember being in the theater 12 years old and I'm like, Mom, Dad, why are the Jedi being killed? Why are all the good guys getting killed? Execute Order 66. I'm like,
Everything's terrible.
like, dude, that movie caught me off guard. But I'm sure it caught a lot of kids off guard at the time. Like kids were, dude, parents were probably taking their kids to that movie and they're like, oh shit, like, this is a bad idea.
Okay, so to go on like a slight tangent for 5 seconds, I have something
Yeah.
funny to share with you. Do you
Let's
remember
do
the movie Spirit?
Yes. With the horses.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I was me and my 3 siblings, or my 2 siblings, were very small children.
Yeah.
And we went to go see Spirit by ourselves. What happened to come out at that same time was a Saw movie.
Oh no.
So our 3 tiny little selves went in to go see Spirit and then were traumatized. To explain why I look like this now, it would put it at that moment.
He really said we went to go see a horse movie. We saw a horse saw movie.
Yeah, yeah. I just
Oh
thought it
my
was a really
God.
long trailer and I was terrified.
Oh my God, a really long trailer. That's so funny. You're like, when is the trailer going to
Oh my God.
end? That's so fucked. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Memories.
Memories. Me and my siblings lived through some serious shit. Wait, I ran? No. Saw.
I've seen things.
I've seen things. You've seen Saw. Well, you've seen Spirit. I've seen Saw. We're not the same person.
Oh God.
I fucking love it. Okay. So I mean, yeah, that definitely a tangent, but I love it. First date. That's how it goes sometimes. At least we're enjoying each other's company. It's like, no, fuck this guy. No, I'm kidding. So honestly, like we really got this podcast figured out. We got this scheduled because it's been a long time since Poltergeist came out.
Right.
And we're at the tail end of 2024. So I wanted to go ahead and inquire with you upon what you are able to disclose about what's going to be going on with Conjured in 2024.
Aside from shows, there's a lot of them that aren't like the tours unannounced. So I can't go. There's the Sulphur show we're playing February 10th in Austin, Texas. And then we announced we're dropping a new single on the 29th of December called False Prophet,
Okay.
which delves into issues with religion. But
Okay. Sick.
yeah, and then we got a bunch of singles planned out, some cool features and everything. Yeah, just keep it on our social medias and we'll be posting the hell out of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the first date in mind and episode 65 of the Anatomy Crosscast, I think that'll actually be it for tonight. Unless if there was anything else you were wanting to mention before we go ahead and kill session.
No, that's it, man. I appreciate you having me on here.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between over on Sean Cross or the Anatomy Crosscast YouTube channel, which if you are subscribed to the Anatomy Crosscast YouTube channel, I appreciate the hell out of you. Shout out to everybody who got the Utilize the Remains episode, our now most popular episode, to 77 streams or 77 plays on Spotify, as opposed to, yeah, like as opposed to every other episode before that has averaged like 19 to 22. Like big shit. That's a big jump. And I look forward to seeing how you guys end up enjoying what is going to be this session and the Curb Stomp the Predator session. We have a couple sessions coming out this next week. hopefully, including one with the Voynich Code. If you guys are familiar with that band, that should be really, really fun. But other than that, I don't really want to reveal anything because half the time these sessions get rescheduled like 4 different times. But thank you, Zach, for deciding to hang out with us. Thank you for the first date. I had a great time. I hope to see you again here pretty soon.
Hell yeah,
And
man.
with that being said, everybody have a great night, and we will be seeing you real soon.